you a fan of Super Meat Boy or games like Super Meat Boy? Have you ever wondered what would happen if you mixed golf into the equation of a game like that? If you answered yes, then check out my review of Golf Zero coming up next on Mumbles. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. In today's episode of Mumbles, we're reviewing this. This, my friends, is Golf Zero. It is a Super Meat Boy inspired golf game that is kind of cool and that I kind of wanted to review today. So that is what we're reviewing today. And we're going to jump straight into this review. But before we do, I do have to ask, please, if you have not already, please do subscribe to the channel, ring the little notification bell, and drop a like on the video. Guys, it helps the channel to grow, and just know how much I appreciate it. Now, guys, let's talk about Golf Zero. First things first, I do want to say I gave Golf Zero on today's Mumbles review a 5 out of 10 on our Mumbles review. If you want to know why it got a 5 out of 10, stay tuned. I got a lot of stuff to cover, and it's coming at you starting now. So guys, the first thing that I want to mention is Golf Zero is a game that is available for the price of $4.99 at the time of this review and can be picked up on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I am reviewing this today, guys, on the Nintendo Switch version, so please do be aware of that. Guys, now as far as the description reads, the description for Golf Zero reads, Golf Zero is a cute, fun, and original little game with a mix of clever golf platforming gameplay. To sink a putt, you must jump, sprint, or slide while avoiding unconventional hazards like brutal boulders, whirling saw blades, or zinging bullets as the challenge increases. Do you have what it takes to earn the gold medal? Features 80+ levels of golf platforming madness, competitive speedrun mode, and endearing pixel art. Guys, in the simplest terms I can put this is basically a hardcore platforming game like Super Meat Boy that involves golf. So that's the best way I can put it, guys. There are objects and things you have to avoid, and the ultimate goal is to get close enough that you can shoot the golf ball into the hole. It's that simple, guys. But is it a good game? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the graphics, the soundtrack, and the controls. Starting with the graphics, guys, this game has Meat Boy-ish type graphics, not 100% there. They're just simple little graphics. They're nothing really super duper impressive, but they are passable, and they are pretty decent. So graphics-wise, this game has nice graphics. Soundtrack-wise, guys, I gotta say, a lot of games I'll say they have gaming elevator music, and that means that the soundtrack isn't that great. Guys, this game's soundtrack, by far, has some of the most annoying music I have seen in a game in a long time. For the first level or two, that music is okay. And then later on in the game, when it switches for the first level or two, it's okay. But for the most part, you will hear the same song constantly for 20 to 30+ levels. Then it will switch to one other song, and you will hear that same music for 20 to 30+ levels. It makes for a very annoyed experience. Some variation would go a long way. I cannot even say this game has gaming elevator music. I completely 100% dislike the soundtrack in this game. Control-wise, guys, this game does have controls that are easy to pick up and understand. Basically, you just need to know you have a jump button, you have a button that you can use to actually hit the ball and slow down time, and that's all you really need to know about this game. And the controls work great, they're spot on, and they are very easy to understand and master. So nothing but good things to say about the controls here. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. I know I've said it a million times. I'm going to add one more time to that count and say this game is very much Super Meat Boy meets golf. Why is it that? It's because the amount of obstacles that are put in your way. As you start each level, you will be faced with the task of getting to each golf hole. Now, along the way, there's all kinds of hazards, whether it be saw blades or spikes or boulders or whatever it is that they put in your way. You're going to have to jump your way through each of these obstacles in order to get to a location where you can actually shoot the golf ball into the golf hole. Now, the other added challenge in this is that almost all levels have balloons in them. If you do not hit that balloon, then you will not be able to get a gold medal for that stage. Also, in addition to that, some stages actually add on additional tasks like hit the balloon and get it into the golf hole with one shot. So you have to balance all these things together while playing this game. But guys, definitely the core part of this game is actually dodging the obstacles in order to get in a position where you can actually shoot the golf ball into the hole. And actually getting the angle of said golf ball correctly so that you can make it into the hole. That's all I can really say about the gameplay, guys. That's exactly what it is. It's got, like I said, 80+ levels of doing this exact thing. Very much dodgy of, dodging spikes and everything else. That's what this game is, guys. I'm not going to talk your ear off about it because that's all I have to say about it. Now let's talk about the cons for this game. So guys, the first con that I have is that this game has no story. Now guys, I'm a believer that not every game needs story, but I do like stories in games, and I feel like this is a game that really could have done with some kind of story, and it wouldn't have been that hard to add, whether it be just, you know, facing off against some evil force and having to score all these golf holes or whatever it be. This game could have done with a story, made it a little bit more interesting, made me want to play it all the way through, rather than it just being a challenge of getting the ball in the hole every time. I mean, that's a cool challenge. It's just like playing golf, but when you're going to make it this close to a Meat Boy type game, I feel like adding a story would have taken it to the next level. The second con that I have for this game is that this game is repetitive. Guys, like most of these platformers out there, and it's something that can even attach to a game like Meat Boy. When you go through each level, you will find a semi-bit of repetitiveness, and this game is very much like that. Although level designs are changed up throughout the game, there is a bit of repetitiveness attached to any platformer game out there that is like this. Third con that I have for this game is that this game is rather short. Yes, it does have 80 plus levels. Yes, it only costs $4.99, but I would have liked to see more levels built into it. I think it could have made for a much cooler game. So guys, now my final con for this game is the soundtrack. Guys, I know I've already talked about the soundtrack and how I don't like it, but I'm listing it here nonetheless because the soundtrack in this game is horrible in my opinion. I don't like it, I'm not a fan, so I'm listing it here as our final con. So guys, now what to talk about is why I gave this game a 5 out of 10 on a MumblesVideo. Guys, Golf Zero is a game that I actually do really like. I think it's a really cool game. I think the idea behind it was really cool, but I think they could have done so much more with it. I think this game could have been made a million times better. Now, I can't say anything bad about the controls or the way it moves or anything like that, but the fact that they made it so Meat Boy-like and they didn't give it any story really was a detractor for me. Also, the fact that the soundtrack is so bad, in my opinion, was almost just kind of lazy. And I don't like to say a game creator is lazy or anything, but I feel like the soundtrack really could have been, there could have been so much more done with it rather than just making it 1 or 2 songs. You could have changed the song every level, and I would have said it was a good soundtrack. But instead, they didn't do that, which really is a bummer and a detractor for this game. The other reason I gave this game a 5 out of 10 is because as much as it is different, because it's golf and platforming, it's kind of the same thing. You're dodging obstacles, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then you're shooting a ball in the hole. I mean, we've seen a million of these games. You really have to hit and nail a game like this in order for it to jump to the top of any list of a game that's like Meat Boy. It really has to hit it and nail it, get it perfect for it to jump to the top of the list. And I just feel like this game didn't do that. And again, as I say every week, guys, it's just not a AAA title. It's a game that's fun. It's a fun time waster, but it's nothing more than that. So 5 out of 10 for me. I hope you guys all enjoyed this review. Please smack that subscribe button, smack the like button, smack all those buttons, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.